AI design, where would it be without its people? That's a good question.
Upon graduating college, I needed to find myself a job in the area. Once I walked into these doors, there was no getting away from it. I had to get a job here. I've been here ever since.
There is no typical phone call, there's no typical job, and there's no typical client. Everything we do is different.
AI design is the place you want to get to in this industry.
Attention to detail that we need to put into our jobs for the client and for AI design is very fine-tuned.
It's not just about adding a panel to a car and then wrapping it so that it looks like the rest of the car. It's actually sourcing out the same exact leather, the same exact carpet that's being used, the same exact fasteners that are being used. It's bringing it to that level of detail that no one else that I've ever seen in this industry brings it to.
Today we're talking about a Peugeot T16. This particular car, they made 200, so you can't buy parts for it. So we had to go about the challenge of attempting to recreate a rubber part. We had sway bar bushings that, when they came out of the car, they looked like this, right? So this is completely petrified and not usable. The way we got around this is we 3D scanned what was left of this bushing, and we 3D scanned the receptacle that it goes into, and then we created one in plastic. So we took this part so that we could have a mold made, and we now have a usable, proper sway bar bushing.
I found that after working on cars for so many years and so many different makes and models, you realize that it's all the same jigsaw puzzle. You know, it's like how it's all put together is slightly different, but all cars basically use the same 10,000 parts. Just where they're located and how it's put together is slightly different.
You know, we're given the ability to build all these cool things. We're given every tool necessary.
We have a massive amount of resources at our fingertips. We have 3D scanning, we have CNC machine, we have 3D printing. We can do pretty much anything. We can build anything you can think of from scratch if need be.
So our client has a classic car that doesn't have air conditioning. The vehicle is a Mercedes-Benz 1957 220S. One of the first steps we did was take 3D scans in the car interior so that we could have a virtual representation in the computer program as well. From there, I can build solid parts in the program and I can send those to our 3D printer over here. This new part that we 3D printed is going to be what holds the fans and the motor, basically right in here. By virtue of not having made modifications to the car itself is that the work we do becomes reversible, and that means it doesn't affect the provenance or the value of the car remains intact, and if at any point we needed to take the air conditioning out, it would be reversible.
AI design for me is like my second home, basically, because again, I know Matt since 2000, who is the owner of AI design, and he taught me a lot of things in this place, you know.
This is my fuse panel ready set up. It's gonna be in this location. We're trying to get everything clean, neat. Like when you open the hood of the car, when you look at the wire, it looks like similar to the factory or even better.
This is the best there is. They do things more meticulously, higher quality, higher standards. Matt does not spare any expense when it comes to using the proper tools, the proper computers. It doesn't matter. He will get what we need to do the job right.
If you're meticulous about yourself and you're meticulous about who you hire to do work for you, you can ensure that the person that runs this place is on the same level that you are and will not tolerate anything less than the best that you could put out.
I think the heartbeat of AI design is the interest. All of the craftspeople that work for me have a lot of interest in what they specialize in. I think that's the way it needs to be. If I need something TIG welded, I've got two people for that. If I need some really subtle hands on wrapping a small piece in leather, I've got 3 people for that.
Matt being the star of the show, truly gifted when it comes to vision and design, but he's also gifted in a way of putting the right people together to collaborate on a job in order to achieve the result that he's got in his mind.
He knows what he wants. He has a vision, and that vision needs to be translated in their work.
If someone was to ask me what AI design means to myself, it's a culmination of many different things in this industry. But more importantly than anything else, and this goes back to the teachings of Matt, is that things are supposed to appear as if they belonged.
It's one of the hardest things was trying to show our work. There's a lot of shops out there where you can see a car from 200 feet away and you know who built it. Because the car, in that case, is more of a reflection of the shop, and the work that comes out of AI design is more of a reflection of the client.
We're given every tool necessary. We have every type of computer scanner, 3D printer, CNC machine, but it still requires the people to operate those things and have the vision in order to do the design work. It requires a big pool of people, and we got it. We got a deep pool here.
This place holds their employees and holds onto them tightly. We have gentlemen that I work alongside that have been here for 20 years. And I'm constantly surrounded by the best this industry has to offer.
It feels like a family, you know, it's not just like, oh, you're working, then boom, and you go home. I consider everyone here a family, so that is huge for me.
I walk into work every single day with a sense of pride that I can stand with these pinnacles in this industry.